morning, Lisa. So today we are talking about following the file for a closing. What would you do on closing day or prior to the closing?
Prior to the closing, about 7 to 10 days before closing is when we want to start actually looking at setting up a time. I know a lot of people want to set a time up from day one. It's not a smart idea to do that, just because then if it closes or it gets delayed, if the closing gets delayed, then it can cause more emotion that we don't need to really deal with. So if we wait until 10 days to a week before, then we can start getting things in order. We're more likely to close on time. This is when you want to start doing things like your utilities. Organizing your utilities to be shut off or turned on, depending if you're the buyer or the seller. Another thing is you need to start thinking about arranging for moving. That's a big deal. You should be really packing up at this point. There's a lot of emotion. You're going to have to do a final walkthrough if you are the buyer to make sure that things are not ruined and damaged, or things are not missing out of the house that you think you're getting. And for the seller, you want to make sure that you're moved out so that you're not having to worry about people walking through while you're trying to pack up. So there's a lot that goes into closing itself. We need to also make sure that we schedule times that are going to be open at the title company. We try to do our best to get you the time you want. That's not always the case. A lot of times we have to wonder or worry about funding. So you can't close at 8 in the morning if your funds aren't going to be through until 10. So you might not be able to close until the afternoon. So those are other concerns. But basically there's a lot of emotion at the end. There's just as much emotion at the end toward closing as there was when you actually wrote your contract.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa. And that's another episode of Following the File.